Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're talking about another penny stock market watch. I have gotten the comment every now and again, as to how do I get to the specific like $5 and under for Yu-Gi-Oh specific cards on TCG Player. It took me a while to figure this out the first time I did. So basically, though, what you do, I'm just gonna show you guys here real quick. You just go down Yu-Gi-Oh. You go all the way down to advanced search. Advanced search is really cool because you can search via the product name, via the description of the card, the number that's on the card itself, different rarities, different levels, even link ratings where the arrows are at, their attack, their defense, etc. But you can also do less than a certain amount, which is $5. It's kind of a it's a weird it's like a like stock market thing that $5 or less is basically considered a penny stock, even though penny stocks were always thought to be worth less than a dollar because they're just pennies. But that's where the number five comes from. So that's kind of the whole thing with that. But let's just jump right into it. As we can see, the 2020 Megaton, 2022 Megatons, still doing 2022 Megatons thing, literally taking the top 9 best-selling spots, make it the top 12 best-selling spots, make it the top 15 best-selling spots, um, are all these cards. Now, if I had to say which cards of these top 15, like which three cards seem the best, which three cards seem the worst, I love Nibiru. This is such a huge discount for Nibiru. Nibiru used to be $14 card. The OTS version is still in the hundreds. But all versions of Nibiru are relatively cheaper. So that's huge. Pick up those now. I think also we're kind of entering into a stun format. So Nibiru might not be that good now. But the thing is like I remember about 6 months ago, DD Crow's anti-spell fragrances, they were like $1.50, $2. And now they're kind of going to the moon, and that's kind of I think we're entering that situation for Nibiru. Like there's going to be formats, actually anti-spell fragrance, which is gonna be really good this format. But Nibiru um isn't probably gonna be very good this format, which means that the card itself is gonna be cheaper, and it's just around the corner. It's just I know that we're probably not gonna get a ban list until obviously next year. But I would assume after January, usually when the January set comes out, Konami likes to see what that does to the format, and like February or March is probably when we're gonna get our next ban list. And I know that sounds like a really far ways away, but that and ban list could put this card right back up on the map. And then in that case, it's been what 5, 6 months since this card's gotten a reprint, so all these versions could be very expensive. If I had to pick another one in the top 15 that are like definitely good buys here. Alibur is already starting to climb back up to over $5. But I would even say a card like Small World. It's a prismatic secret rare upgrade, and it's a very necessary card. There's a lot of um, rogue decks that just love this card. So this is always going to be a card that's wandering around somewhere. And listen, they print new cards just about every month, right? If not more. There's always going to be a new card that adds an interaction to Small World. There was a link that I had in one of the videos that went to talking about all of the different targets for Small World. So go ahead and check that out as well. Dark Ruler No More, I still think, even though it's gotten like 3 reprints in a year, I actually still think this is a fantastic card to pick up. We look at the Prismatic Secret Rare from the original 2019 tins. That's about at $8. I don't know if these will hit that mark anytime soon, but this one is definitely one to watch out for. But all versions of Dark Rule No More, because unless they're just gonna, make this the new Mystical Space Typhoon, I don't see them continuing to reprint it. I mean, this structure deck just came out. This structure deck just came out, and these tins just came out. So I think Dark Ruler No More. I know I've been talking about Dark Ruler No More a lot, but I think it's definitely a good pickup. This is another one too, Lord of the Heavenly Spheres. I know, Prison, excuse me. I know I said 3, but we'll do 4. Because I haven't talked about this card yet. This is a fantastic reprint, and for Stun to be as good as it is right now, or at least what I feel like it is right now, like it looks like there's a potential for like Spellbook Runic, Runic Mystic Mind deck out. That could be one of the best decks. If you guys haven't already checked out, I did a top 10 best decks of the format. Go ahead and check that out. It's way too early. Like the ban list isn't even official yet, but I know. I trust me, it's 100% accurate. But this card, it's a great protector of spells and traps. Um, if a spell trap is activated, you can bring this card out. It's got 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense. Like this card is fantastic for stun decks, and stun is really good right now. This is probably one of the better formats for stun, because the top 2 decks, Tier and Sprite, got hurt. A stun archetype spellbook got its best card back, and Mystic Mind didn't get hit. So you combine all those things together, and this card could potentially be really, really big going forward, and something to look out for. And I know we usually take a deeper dive into the cards, but we've talked the last 2 weeks on the Megatons, so I'm just doing a really quick, brief overview on which cards that I think will be the best. The cards to stay away from, I just, Link into the V-Rains, um, and the Revived Sky God. Like, I know this card's a little different because it does say Monster Reborn on it, and it's just such a powerful, impactful spell card. And the fact that this card can essentially add a Monster Reborn from your deck or graveyard to your hand is insane. But it's still not a good card. You still have to run the Egyptian Gods, and until they get more Divine Beast support, and we just got the starter deck last year, this is just not going to be a good card. And Link into the V-Rains. This one's a little different because it is, it's for Link monsters. So this could have potential. I could see this being a little bit better, but these just don't feel like they're going to make it as high of an impact as a card like Dimension Shifter, Ready Fusion, the branded stuff, Ghost Ogre, Ghost Bell, different things like that. But as we continue forward, let's dive a little deeper into some of these cards. We talk about Rivalry of the Warlords. Like I said, I just did a brief overview of like the top 15 cards because like I've literally spent the last 2 market watches talking about the Megatons, and it's insane value. If you haven't picked up your Megatons, you probably should get at least one. There's insane value there to be had. But let's talk about Rivalry. This card's been shooting up. We've actually talked about this card before when we were talking about Goes in Match, because Goes in Match shot up, and I'm curious to see. So there's still a lot of copies. Let's see what happens when we go to 4. 4 is when it starts to hit $2. Yeah, the 99 cents plus 99 cents shipping. A lot of people are just selling it at that price. That's kind of funny. But here's my thing. Rivalry of the Warlords, it is a lot harder to play because there's too, like take for example, like just the cards, Access Code Talker, Abyss Dweller, and Appaloosa, right? Those are 3 relatively generic extra deck monsters. That's a Sea Serpent, a Cyberse, and a Fairy, right? So we're in this situation where even like a deck like Dragon Link could possibly run this, but a lot of times some of the better boards for Dragon Link ends on Appaloosa and then a bunch of dragons, right? I know you could get the Heraldic Link monster plus Warlord Savage Dragon, plus this card. That's not terrible, right? But there are decks that can run this really well, like Salamangreat. I myself really like Baguska, who I think is a fiend, and Abyss Dweller, who we just talked about, as well as Zeus in that deck. But Salamangreat can run this card relatively well. In fact, most of the Cyberse decks, like Mathmech, like Adignister, they can run these cards, right? And then a deck we were just talking about, actually, Runic. Runic doesn't really run like Cyber Valley, right? Like this doesn't really run like the deck lists I've seen from Runic haven't been running too many monsters, right? And so if you're gonna be playing like Mystic Mind, no, if you don't get to play, if I don't get to play, you don't get to play type deck, this card could be really good. But like I said, I think the reason why this card isn't shooting up as high as goes in match is just simply due to the fact that it's a lot harder to only control one type than it is to only control one attribute, right? But if your deck can run this, this is a really solid card to pick up. Now, as far as whether or not this is a good card to invest in, I think Stun is really, really good right now. And I think this card has the potential to go above $3. I don't personally like this version. This is the version I have too, but I don't personally like. I don't like rare versions of cards. But if we look amongst the first off, amongst the all Rivalry of the Warlords, $5 or up, $5 or less, the King's Court version is the best selling version. I think that does have to do with the fact that it is, technically speaking, the highest rarity under $5. And I say technically speaking because, like, for me, like, rare, and I've said this so many times, but I'm gonna say it again because I can't say it enough. Rare feels like, I mean, literally, look at this picture. There's one of the cards you cannot read the title. Which one is it? It's the rare. Like, that's how it feels. Like, you can't really read the title, but it's still just like a common card. But anyway, my rants about rarities aside, um, this is probably going to shape out to be the second most expensive version of this card. So I think it could be a very solid investment. This card always randomly pops into the format, pops out of the format. I don't want you to, get your hopes up thinking it's going to be as big as Goes in Match. I also think too, when we look at Goes in Match, I could be completely wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure when we look at Goes in Match, there are less printings of Goes in Match as well, right? We saw 6 printings of Rivalry of the Warlords, and there's only 4 of Goes in Match, right? And so it would be awesome to see all copies of Rivalry of the Warlords hit this amount, if we were able to buy it. Because like I said, there's a good amount at like $1.50 to it. I mean, we have this one selling at $7 for $1.50. Get all 7, right? And if they can hit $5, that's huge. That's $35 off of a trying to do quick math here in my head. That $10.50 investment, right? That's a profit of around $20, right? Because we put in shipping and handling and different things like that. But that's solid, right? So I think this is a good but not like great investment, just because of, it does say type and not attribute. But that being said, it's not a bad thing to pick up this, because like I said, it is the best selling version of Rivalry of the Warlords, right? I guess we could look at King's Court if we want to, but moving on, the branded stuff is all taken off. Branded is becoming kind of like that budget deck that a lot of people are turning to, wondering if that could be a solid option. I still think the deck, it hard loses to Mystic Mind, right? And that card's going to be just everywhere. It feels like, unless you're running it with tier elements, it's probably not very good. But Branded Fusion, Albion, Alibur, both versions of Alibur are solid investments, so we're not going to look too deep into that. And then, if we look, what is this guy doing here? I don't think this is this under $5? Right? I didn't think so. I don't know why this card is here. That's super strange. I can take a look at the other version. I don't think the other version's under $5 either. But what we can do with this, yeah, it recently shot, because it recently dropped, so it recently shot to the moon. Yeah, this is pretty good. Let's take a look at, there, that's the card I was looking for. Because I did look at these earlier, and a couple of weeks ago, and they were down, because the main deck that was running unbranded Despia wasn't as good anymore. You can get this for, I might just sneak in and get this, actually. This one probably won't be available. I don't know, though. My thing is with this package, like, it never felt like it was super necessary for branded Despia to run this package. Like, I know it's better if it runs this package, but for the price, like my thing is always just value. Like I just never thought that this was worth the value that it comes with, right? So that's I don't know why Fight for Patchwork and Edge of Chain. So we're actually gonna go to the second page again. This is the third week in a row we're going to the second page. It's just for now, like when the Crystal Beast structure that comes out, I'm sure like this is coming out soon. Like I'm sure there's going to be some changes on the market watch, but if as long as it's just the tins, we're not gonna talk about it. And this isn't under $5 anyway. So we gotta talk about the top 24 best selling cards under $5, and that's not under $5. So this is dark. There we go. So when talking about our boy Steam the Cloak, who just came off the ban list, first off, there are two versions of this card, right? So let's take a look at this one real quick. I just wanted to, because sometimes you remember, I don't know, you guys maybe don't remember this, but there was a super heavy samurai card that like off of a meme just randomly got bought out. I was a part of that buyout, and so I was just wondering just maybe, you know. Like, I wouldn't buy this heavily played version for $14. I probably wouldn't buy any for more than $5, right? But, I mean, what are we? We're at $5 on the second page, I think. I don't know what's going on with 19 cents, but $4.99 shipping. But, so we're looking at about $5. So, this is $5. These are light plays for $5. If we just went to here, though, if we just took a look at the near mints. So this one's 25 cents at 30. I don't understand that. I think they're just trying to get rid of them. Like I think they're just trying to offload them. Because once these are gone, which they might be gone soon, to be honest. I'm just taking a look. See, I like to just go directly to the card. You know, sometimes I try to do the math myself, but sometimes it just starts to fail. Cause this card isn't that terrible. Yeah, I was thinking about buying Mystic Mine. I know. Don't please don't unsubscribe because I was thinking about buying Mystic Mine. I should have bought it when it was cheaper, to be honest. But anyway, $7.50. For all 30 of these, and you know, honestly, you could easily flip that to $3. My only thing is, right, like I know I joked around about buying this card. It could very easily get replaced, right? Like yes, you buy out all these and then flip them for $3. You know, you spend $7.50, potentially make 90, right? But in a lot of cases, when situations like that happen, especially because this card is at 1, someone else with over 50,000 plus sales could come up and put it for 40 cents and undercut you there, right? I think if you would to do a buyout, you'd have to get rid of like this first page, almost entirely, as far as the near mints are concerned. And that's the thing too. With older cards like this, people don't hate. This one's really just 25 cents. When was this listed? What is going on here? I don't know. I actually may have stumbled on a buyout, and this card, and this is the last one of it. So I apologize if you come look at the common version of this card, and the core TCG is gone because $7.50 is not a lot. And here's the thing too, like I think a lot of times people when they do a market watch, they try to act like they're just observing the market and not like in the market too. But we know, like MCO 40, House of Champ, like we know they sell, they buy and sell, and they can fluctuate the market as well. I myself, I just don't like to hide. I'll just be straight up honest with you, like this will probably be gone. This will probably be gone. Like all 30 of them will probably be gone. But that doesn't necessarily mean that someone else might find like I said, probably not someone like me who just has like a big bulk pile of cards in the corner room, but someone like like Pyramid Games, Core TCG, someone with hundreds of thousands of the sales, or at least tens of thousands of sales, could potentially undercut this price, but 25 cents is just such a steal. So thank you guys for watching me do that. But I did just want to mention too, there's another thing too as to why I actually think that it might not be the best thing as we try to scroll all the way back here to the other two versions. This super rare version is the one to look out for. If we're talking about a buyout, I was just looking at the common version just for funsies, and I stumbled upon something relatively interesting. But when we take a look at this card, though, first off, it's a tuner. Second off, it's level 3. So then we also have, if it leaves the field, special summon a Steam token. If this card's in your graveyard, you contribute a monster, special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only use this effect once per duel. If this card is summoned this way, uses synchro material, all other monsters have to be Blackwing, right? The reason this card got banned not only was because it was easily summonable by Alpha Fibrax, but also because it's easy link fodder, right? And no, we don't have our way of getting it back out with Alpha Fibrax, and thank goodness, to be honest. But this could still see a good amount of play. Now, if we go to just the near mint section here, as far as the cards under $5, it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long for us to get to the $4 mark, and we're slowly walking up to the $5 mark as we're already on page 2. And now that we're on page 3, we are at the $5 mark. We're past the $5 mark. And there's usually some $10 here. These people here at the back they're getting ready for a potential buyout, right? So Steam the Cloak, all versions of it seem like really good buyout targets. I apologize. This version will probably be gone when you come up here. But hey, maybe I'll buy this version and Core TCG will put 30 more down for 25 cents. So just make sure you guys are paying attention to this. I think it's an absolutely fantastic buy. Even if, let's say even that version's gone, right? Even this is where it's at. Maybe not the common version, but, because we got 70 here at 344, right? But especially the super rare version, you could potentially see both versions of these cards being above $5 just because I think people are going to be messing around with it. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are playing the meta, kind of like the meta stun, tier elements, sprite, as well as just like random Mystic Mind decks. Actually, like I said, did the top 10. Go ahead and check that out on my channel. But there are also going to be people just messing around. And as far as people just messing around, this card is a great card to mess around with. So let me know what you guys think. What are the best cards under $5 or less that you guys like? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for more content. And most importantly of all, have a good day.